It's been a beautiful morning. You can't ask for better weather.
Beautiful skies and cool temperatures greeted the over 50,000 hunters that were afield for the opener of this year's hunt. Conservation officers across the state are out on patrol, making sure everyone was safe and abiding by the rules.
What are some of the common mistakes you see from hunters?
The one that I watch for the most, and I think is one of the most important, is the safety issue with having a loaded gun in the vehicle. People get excited and they see a deer maybe jump out and load one in and then forget to take it back out before they jump in the vehicle. And yeah, that's the number one issue, is that safety. You know, deer tags, you've got to be in the right area. We've got 30 areas in the state, and sometimes people forget their boundaries or not quite sure their boundaries, so it's important to make sure of where you're at and your hunting boundaries. Congratulations, a great buck.
Ogden hunter Dallas Day's hunt was over in the first hour of light. His dandy 4x4 was tagged, bagged, and in the truck by 9.
We just started skirting this CWMU right here along the edge of the road, and he happened to stand up, and I shot him. He must have stood right in his bed and waited for everybody to keep driving by. Good idea to get out of the truck and actually go hiking rather than just road hunting everywhere. Hunting's 90% luck, I think, most of the time.
Yeah, this year's hunt should be really good.
Big game coordinator Justin Shannon believes hunters will have more of that luck this year than in years past.
I think hunters are going to see a lot of bucks. I think success rates are going to be really high. So when I first started, it was pretty low. High 20s, low 30s was the typical hunter success rate on your rifle deer hunt. Last year we were at 43% success, really high. And then with that, our buck to doe ratios still keep climbing, and our deer populations are growing. We've grown 100,000 deer in the last 4 years in Utah, and there's still going to be a lot of yearling bucks. Our production has been really good. But in addition to that, we ended the year at a really high buck to doe ratio last year. And what that means is hunters are going to see more mature, older bucks on the landscape, which is good news for hunters.
Justin says this year and last year are some of the highest buck to doe ratios that hunters have seen in over a decade.
So statewide on general season units that are dominated by public land, it's 23. And that's really high. On most of our units we manage for 15 to 17 or 18 to 20 bucks per 100 does, and so we're exceeding that. And as a result, we've been able to increase a few more permits. Last year I think we increased 4,000 permits, a little over that statewide.
Many hunters have expressed a concern that the DWR didn't raise tags enough. Many hunters wanted more than a 4,000 statewide tag increase. But for those that did draw a tag, you should have a little more elbow room and a few more bucks to chase.
This morning, how's it going?
It's going great. Yep.
You got a smile on your face.
Exactly.
You must have saw something.
Yeah, saw something, you know.
And?
Well, missed, but, you know, long shot, but.
Yeah.
Great day so far.
Going hunting, it's a family thing. Yeah. Even if you don't harvest, it's about spending time with my boys. Got 3 boys I bring out. My youngest is 2.
Got all of them, huh?
Bring them all.
Yeah. And if you get a deer, just icing on the cake?
It's food in the freezer and meat on the table.
How's it going?
Hunters can help the DWR by stopping at a check station on their way home. The information the DWR collects help determine what, if any, changes need to be made for next year's hunt.
So when hunters bring a deer into a check station, one thing we look at is xiphoid fat measurement. We make an incision right here on the deer, and we look at how much fat has been deposited throughout this summer on that animal. And that gives us an indication of how good our deer are going into the winter. In addition to that, we take a measurement of the deer, and more than anything though, it's communicating with the hunters and how was your hunt, and getting feedback, which I think is really important in wildlife management.